Hello students, today I am going to explain chapter 7, The Diary of a Young Girl from your second term syllabus. The year is 1942. In Holland, during the Second World War, Jews are being persecuted by Hitler's Nazi army. The Frank family, who are Jews, hide in Mr. Frank's office. With them is another Jewish family, the Van Dans and their son, Peter. Annie, Mr. Frank's daughter, writes a diary about their lives in hiding. Annie's diary talks of the horror and the suffering that the Jews went through during the Second World War, which lasted from 1939 to 1945. So here is an extract from her diary. The book begins on Annie's 13th birthday, June 13, 1942. She receives as a present from her parents a diary. Among other presents, she thinks about it for several days and decides to write letters as her diary entries. She addresses each letter to Kitty. Kitty is a fabricated friend, someone in which Annie can expose her deepest feelings to. Annie's family has emigrated to Holland from Germany for two reasons. The first is Mr. Frank has taken a job there, and the second is to move away from the Nazi party. The Nazis are making life very restrictive for the Jewish people in Germany. Even though they have left Germany, the Jews' restrictions of the Nazi party still exist in Holland. They all are required to wear a yellow star on their clothing, attend only Jewish schools, shop at Jewish stores, and other restrictions also apply. The full impact of the restrictions and horrors of the Nazi party are felt by the family on the day Annie's sister, Margot, is called up. This means that she is to be taken away, in all probability, to a concentration camp. The family knew they would one day have to go into hiding and had been making preparations for the move. This just moved up the timetable of when they would go. Only July 9, 1942, the Frank family moved into the building, which housed the business that employed Mr. Frank. The rooms were above the warehouse floor and were referred to by Annie as the secret annex. The family was joined a few days later by the Van Den family. This family consisted of Mr. and Mrs. Van Den and their son Peter, who was a little older than Annie. These two families try to get along as best they can. Of course, not everyone is happy with the situation. Annie feels as if everything she does is fodder for the adults to use to criticize her. The group also decides to make room for an eighth member, Mr. Dussel. He is a dentist whose wife is in America. He is recommended by Miep, a young woman who worked for Mr. Frank. There are a number of people helping the families survive in the secret annex. They include Miep and her husband Hank, Ellie and Mr. Kupis. There are also others who take a smaller role in helping them survive World War II. Annie and her mother do not get along at all. Annie also feels as if she cannot behave in a manner that pleases any of the adults. Her situation with her mother comes to a head one night as Mrs. Frank asks Annie if she, instead of Mr. Frank, can say Annie's prayers with her. Annie refuses her mother's request. Her mother tells Annie that she will try not to force her to love her. The war is also exacting a toll on everyone. The people helping the families in the secret annex are becoming ill. This is a twofold problem because they are an extension of the families in the annex, so the group is worried about the well-being of their helpers. Another part of this is if the helpers are ill, then the families are not able to receive food and other necessities for survival. They are also being plagued with burglaries at the building. Several times, burglars have tried and sometimes succeeded to break into the building. The fear is they may hear the families and report them to the Gestapo, resulting in everyone being taken away to concentration camps. On September 10, 1943, Annie records in her diary the fall of the Italy. This brings joy to those living in Holland and the world. This means the war is inching closer to its end. The Vandans are out of money. Their only hope is to sell some of their clothing. The problem is Mrs. Vandan does not want to sell her prized fur coat. The coat could bring in an infusion of much needed cash for the family. But she wants to hang on it. Mr. Van Dan convinces her to sell it so that the family can have money to buy food and other necessities. As the war continues on and Annie finds out about how more and more Jews are being sent to concentration camps, she has difficulty dealing with her emotions. She is very happy to be safe and free from having to go to a concentration camp. She is also feeling guilty for this same safety because she knows her friends do not have the same secure feeling. The talk of invasion by the English also causes anxiety for Annie and the others. They do not know what will happen to them if the English invade. Will the Germans try to flood the city, endangering the lives of everyone there?